Let's dive right into this explainer on mastering professional AI-driven code refactoring using the Gemini CLI. Now, if you're a developer looking to actually integrate AI into your production pipeline, you know for a fact that just throwing random prompts at an AI, yeah, it's not going to cut it. We really need a methodical, structured approach to make sure the code we generate is usable, secure, and seamlessly integrated. So today, we're unpacking a masterclass workflow. We're going to take you from a highly secure setup all the way to a beautifully refactored codebase, extracting hard-coded UI elements into perfectly reusable components.
Here's our pipeline for today. We've got safety first with branching strategies, managing AI session context, executing the refactoring prompt, checking out permissions and auto tests, and finally, verifying props and slots. Let's jump right into section 1, safety first, branching strategies. Because look, professional AI usage absolutely requires isolating the AI's changes in a dedicated branch, something like Gemini/Card, just to protect your main codebase. You definitely never want an AI, no matter how advanced it is, directly manipulating your main production code without a safety net, right? By switching to a completely isolated branch, you keep ultimate control. If the AI hallucinates, or if the refactor just goes totally off the rails, there's zero panic. You literally just delete the branch, and your main codebase is sitting right there, completely untouched. It's the hallmark of a professional developer using AI, managing risk before you write a single line of code. So before issuing any commands to the AI, we complete a quick manual pre-flight setup. First, switch to that Gemini/Card branch. But we don't stop there. We also proactively create a new components folder right inside our app directory. Now, you might be wondering, why do this manually? Well, setting up that precise architectural scaffolding beforehand really guides the AI. It totally removes the guesswork. You're basically building the foundation and telling Gemini, hey, put the new code exactly here. Moving on to section 2, managing AI session context. This is where we feed the AI the precise information it needs. And what's really cool here is how simple it is to guide the CLI. You just keep the relevant files open in your editor. The Gemini CLI is incredibly smart about this. It uses your open files as its session context. It's kind of like it's looking over your shoulder. If you wanted to understand the messy, duplicated code you're trying to refactor, just leave that specific file active on your screen. The CLI automatically pulls it in to analyze. Notice the contrast here between a closed file tree and an open index page. Closing your side file tree removes unnecessary distractions, while keeping that index page front and center ensures Gemini directly sees the hard-coded templates it needs to extract. In our scenario, we've got an index page loaded with duplicated code for site features and popular food combos. By keeping only that index page open and actively closing the file tree, you laser focus the AI's attention. You're intentionally managing the data it can see, effectively eliminating all that background noise so it knows exactly what to replace. All right, section 3, executing the refactoring prompt. With our safety and context locked in, it's time to actually command the CLI. We paste in a highly specific prompt. We're explicitly asking Gemini to extract the duplicated templates for the feature and combo cards, name them exactly feature card and combo card, place them in that app components directory we made, and then update the homepage to use the new components. Notice how methodical this is. We aren't just saying, hey, make this code better. We're dictating the exact names, the exact directory, and commanding it to automatically update the original homepage. Specificity is absolutely the secret to high-quality AI output. Which brings us to section 4, permissions and auto tests. Let's see how this actually plays out when the CLI takes over your terminal. The execution sequence is super rapid. Prompt sent, boom, components created. But there's a specific moment where you gotta step in, which is granting the CLI directory permission. Because it's operating on your local machine, it respects your security boundaries. It'll actually pause and explicitly ask for permission to make a new directory. As a dev, you can allow it just this once or hit allow always, which honestly dramatically speeds up your workflow for future commands in that session. Now, for a quick reality check, Gemini might actually auto-generate tests for your new components completely of its own accord. You might not have even asked for testing files in your prompt, but the CLI often proactively creates them right alongside the UI components. Some developers find this a little surprising at first, but honestly, it's a fantastic best practice for production code. It just goes to show the AI is leaning toward a complete professional engineering standard. Finally, section 5, verifying props and slots. AI isn't perfect, so our final step is rigorous code and UI review. When you inspect the output, you see exactly how Gemini handled the architecture. For the combo card, it cleanly mapped out props for the title, description, and tags. Super straightforward. But for the feature card, it was smart enough to recognize a much more complex structure. It utilized a prop for the title, but reserved a dedicated slot for an icon and a generic slot for the rest of the rendered content. Reviewing this is absolutely essential to guarantee the AI actually understood the architectural nuance of your UI. After you inspect that new component code in your IDE, you check the browser. You need to guarantee the visual UI remains completely unchanged. This is the ultimate test, right? You extracted massive chunks of code, but when you scroll down the page, it should look visually identical to how it looked before. You don't want fancy new styles, you just want clean, deduplicated code behind the scenes. Once you confirm the visual integrity is flawless, pop open your source control. And here's a fun trick. Just use Copilot to auto-generate your commit message, push that safely isolated branch up, and merge it down into your main project. Ultimately, it leaves us with this crucial question. Are you letting AI write your code, or are you managing AI to build your architecture? The Gemini CLI is a profoundly powerful tool, but it is exactly that, a tool. By utilizing strict branching for safety, intentionally managing your IDE session context, providing rigorous prompts, and conducting thorough verification, you elevate yourself from someone who just uses AI to a professional who orchestrates AI to build robust software architecture. So how will you structure your next prompt to take full control of your codebase?